In late 2010, the Egyptian resort town of Sharm El Sheikh, a place known for luxury beaches, coral reefs, and crystal clear water, became the site of one of the most disturbing shark attack clusters in modern history. Over the course of just a few days, 5 tourists were attacked by sharks along this same stretch of coastline. 4 were left severely injured and 1 was killed. The attack shocked marine experts around the world because shark attack incidents in the Red Sea were considered extremely rare, especially in a heavily managed resort zone like Sharm. So, what happened? Why did multiple sharks suddenly start attacking people in shallow water? And could it have been prevented? Today, we tell the story of the 2010 Sharm El Sheikh shark attacks. Try saying that 10 times fast. Sharm El Sheikh shark attacks. Sharm El Sheikh shark attacks. It's not actually that hard. Sharm El Sheikh sits at the southern tip of Egypt's Sinai Peninsula, where the desert meets the sea. By 2010, it was one of the world's most popular diving and snorkeling destinations, attracting hundreds of thousands of visitors every year, especially from Russia and Europe. Now, the Red Sea itself is an extremely unique environment. It's warm, it's extremely salty, and it's semi-enclosed, meaning that marine ecosystems there are both unique and fragile. And just offshore, the seabed drops sharply into deep trenches, allowing large predators to move close to shore way more easily than people might realize. For decades, Sharm was considered extremely safe. In fact, before 2010, there'd only ever been a handful of shark-related incidents in these waters in history. And that's why what happened next is so shocking. The first attack occurred on November 30, 2010. A 70-year-old Russian woman named Lyudmila Stolyarova was snorkeling off Narma Bay when a shark struck without warning. Witnesses saw violent thrashing in the water, followed by blood spreading across the surface. She was pulled ashore alive, but with catastrophic injuries to her arm. Authorities temporarily closed the beach and it was ruled an isolated incident. But less than 24 hours later, it happened again. On December 1st, 2 more Russian tourists, Olga and Yevgeny Trishina, were attacked nearby. One lost a leg, and the other lost several fingers. 3 attacks in less than 2 days in the same resort area, well, that was almost unheard of. Globally, most shark attack incidents are isolated events. Multiple attacks in one location suggest something far more unusual, possibly a shark that had become conditioned to human presence. Egyptian officials launched a shark hunt. Within days, fishermen captured and killed 2 sharks, an oceanic whitetip and a short-fin mako. Authorities declared the danger over, and the beaches reopened. But the real crisis was still unfolding. On December 5th, just 4 days later, a German tourist named Renate Kubusch, aged 70, entered the water near Ras Nassari, north of Narma Bay. Conditions were clear, visibility was beautiful, and then witnesses heard screaming. A large shark had attacked her in shallow water, extremely close to shore. Rescuers dragged her onto the beach, but her injuries were catastrophic. Her arm had been severed and she died before medical help could arrive. This was the first fatal shark attack in Sharm El Sheikh's modern history. Panic spread immediately, all the beaches were shut down again, and tourists began to flee. The region's billion-dollar tourism industry came to a complete standstill pretty much overnight. And worst of all, now the world was watching. How could this possibly happen in one of the most controlled areas in the Red Sea? Marine experts from Egypt and around the world launched an immediate investigation. One of the key figures involved was Dr. George Burgess, one of the world's leading shark researchers. The evidence suggested at least 2 species were involved. The oceanic white-tip shark, known for its bold, open ocean behavior, and possibly the short-fin mako, a powerful, deep-water predator. But the bigger question was this: why were these sharks so close to shore in the first place? Scientists proposed several contributing factors. Some dive operators and boat owners were known to throw fish scraps into the water to attract marine life for tourists. Over time, sharks can develop a conditioned association linking boats and humans with food. And another slightly more dark possibility is that of illegal dumping. Livestock transport ships crossing the Red Sea were rumored to toss dead livestock overboard. Of course, carcasses in warm, enclosed areas of water, well, they're bound to attract predators. Environmental stress may have played a role too. Rising sea temperatures, overfishing, reducing natural prey, and disruption of marine ecosystems all could play a factor in these attacks. Investigators ultimately described this as quote-unquote the perfect storm of human interference and environmental imbalance. These attacks weren't random. They were a symptom of a system pushed out of alignment. In the aftermath, Egypt introduced stricter safety protocols. Shark feeding was banned, better waste controls were put in place, and increased patrols and monitoring were ordered. Tourism eventually recovered, but the memory of 2010, well, it never really disappeared. The Sharm El Sheikh attacks remain one of the most unusual shark incident clusters in modern history, and they serve as a reminder. The ocean is not a theme park. Even in paradise, nature is still wild. And when humans disrupt the balance, sometimes the consequences surface in the most terrifyingly predictable ways. If you found any of this interesting, maybe consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel. And if you really like this story in particular, you can go and listen to the episode of Man-Eaters I did where I covered this story a little bit more in depth. I'll put the thing somewhere on the screen. I don't know how any of this stuff works. I'm pretty new at this. And that's going to be it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, stay safe out there because as we know, it's a jungle out there.